just something. And then I went back to when I was a young man in the theater. And I said, oh my God, this is why he called me to become an actor. And I said, you want me to play Jesus, don't you? And he looked at me, he was smoking a cigarette, and he just, yeah, put his head down. And he was really scared. And I said, okay. He just, what? What? Like, how can you, what? Okay. So I had all that preparation.
What was the fear, do you think?
Well, 2 days later, he called me at my house, and I was taking the garbage out. And I heard, I picked up the phone, and I said, yeah, I was busy. And he goes, hey, Jim, it's Mel. And I said, Mel who? And he goes, I don't know, Mel Brooks. Hey, he was smoking a cigarette, and he goes, do you still want to play this Jesus guy? If you do, you may never work in this town again. And I was like, scared. It scared me. I was telling you, I just bought a Lamborghini. And I was, oh, I'm gonna have to give all this stuff back. And I was scared for a moment, and then this peace came over me. And I could feel it. It was from heaven. And I said, look, man, we're all called to carry our cross. If you don't pick up and carry your cross, you will be crushed by the weight of it. And then he got really quiet on the phone. I said, oh my God. He said, what? I said, I just realized my initials are JC and I'm 33 years old. And he goes, God, you're freaking me out. And he hung up the phone.
Did Mel have fear too, to ask?
Sure he was.
What do you think his fear was?
None of us are good enough to do it. None of us are. It's because of who we are, our past, everything, what we're talking about. But the shame. But I told my friend about that. His name was Ivan. And I said, he said, Jim, God doesn't always choose the best, but he chose you. What are you going to do about it? I kept my rosary with me. I prayed. I took the Eucharist every day. And I went to confession every day. The rosary is awesome because you're meditating on the entire Gospels. And when I was up there on the cross, I would pick 10 people out of the audience, actually 11. First one was the Our Father, and then I did 10 Hail Marys, but I continued to pray the Sorrowful Mysteries as I was up there. So I started in the Garden of Gethsemane. I thought of the entire garden. Then I went to the scourging scene. I thought of the scourging scene, and I went from there to the crown of thorns, humiliation. And then, and I would just look at one thing because I couldn't feel my hands anymore. My hands were numb. At the end of the movie, my body's blue. And they brought a stand up, and this doctor came up, and he could hear my heart was in AFib. I would have to have 2 major heart surgeries, including open heart. And then I was struck by lightning on the last shot of the movie. And so I kept going, but I remember hearing Jesus say to me, am I too close? And I said, you're not close enough. So I was at peace that, that if this happened, I felt like I did something in this life. I served my purpose.